Okay, where can I put this? I'm always so nervous to put this thing down. Well, I have to make a plan for this. Let's try this. There we go. Problem sorted. Hi everybody, Johan here, welcome back to my shop. In this week's video I'm going to be making a small little project from offcuts of metal I have everywhere around here. Whenever I do welding work, I have this challenge where I never know, it's always the thing, where do you put the electrode and the clamp with the electrode, where do you put it down? It's fine if you put it down on something wood, but if you put it down and touches metal, of course it will spark and all of that. So I always have a problem where I don't know where to put this down. And also rods, you always have to, when you're wearing the gloves, I have to try and reach for rods and try to get rods and all of that. So it's a bit of a thing where I want it more simple. Okay, so I made this temporary solution where I just want to get this quickly. I have this piece of PVC pipe and I just clamp it onto the side of the welder so that I can take this part and just hook it in there. So that's my temporary solution, but it's not perfect. So I want to redesign this, but also then I want to make something that I can put a couple of rods in and then have easy access to them, and maybe put the hammer in it, the welding hammer in there as well. And then also there's something else I want to make with it. I'll show you now. Let me just put this away. Whenever when you stick weld and you're starting a new rod, then sometimes the new rod doesn't want to take the first time, so you have to start it somewhere else and to heat up the rod a little bit and then weld. So most people who have a welding table do it somewhere on the table, or I see a lot of people do it on the clamp. So on the negative clamp they just start the arc there. I personally hate that. After a while your clamp looks so ugly. I've had this welder 4 years and my original clamp still looks like this, so I prefer to have it like that. So I have a little offcut piece of metal here that I just put down somewhere where it makes contact, and then I start my arc on that. As you can see, this is quite ugly actually. It works, but it's ugly, so I want to make something for this as well. So this is my idea, a little organizer. I don't know what you call it. I tried doing a bit of research and I couldn't find on Google, YouTube or Pinterest any reference to a little welding organizer or welding accessory thing. So I couldn't find anything that it's called, so I just thought I'm going to call it a welding accessory organizer station, something like that. So and today I want to make one of those out of offcuts. So I have this offcut piece of flat bar. It is 10 millimeters thick, I think. Yes, it's 10 millimeters thick and it's 90 wide. So I'm going to use this as a base. It's quite a nice weight. And I'm excited to work with something as thick like this because it will give me a chance to practice something. So if you recall, in last week's video I had the cutting disc that shattered while I was using it. And one of the viewers of that video actually reached out to me, sent me a message and said that it might have been because I was pressing down too hard on the angle grinder. And after thinking about it, I think that might be the case, because that's the first time in a very long time that I had a disc shatter. So if it was a bad brand, then I would have expected at least a certain failure rate, but that was the first one in a long time. So I think it might be that I was pressing too hard. So because this is a nice thick piece of metal, it will give me a chance to practice letting the angle grinder do the work as opposed to me pressing too hard on it. So I want to say to everybody who watch my videos, thank you very much for watching it. and also for interacting with me, for reaching out to me and giving me tips. Last week's video also gave me a really good advice about a leather welding jacket that I must get, because this jacket, as you can see, is also taking a beating. So I'll have to do something about that, getting something better for the angle grinder. So I want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate all the feedback. It's one of the things I really hope would come out of this channel, a situation where people interact with me and we can all learn together. I really do appreciate it. I do read your comments and I really appreciate it. So enough of that. Let's get on with it. Okay, I have to use this for the positive terminal, so it doesn't make contact with metal. So I notice it fits perfectly in here, so I'm thinking of cutting a piece of this, welding that on, and then sliding this one over it. So then I quickly have to determine how high do I have to make all of these things, so that I can then cut the pieces, the off-cut pieces, decide which is going to be, and then I will put them down on here to determine the position. That will determine how much of this I need to cut off. So I'm going to do that first, make sure that okay, so this is my box of offcuts. If I have something this high, that's almost the perfect height. Let me try the 2.5 mils. I really like that height. Alright, so I'm quite happy with that that height almost as it is. I think I can use that. 140, I might make it 150. So that gives me a good idea for that. Now I just want to check quickly how many of these this is 47. Okay, I'm thinking of using this one for to make the hammer stand like this. So I will need to cut so 150 there will also work. Okay, great. I think you get the idea. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly cut all the sections, all the different pieces I have, so that I can start playing around with the layout. So I'm quickly going to do that, and then we'll come back to this talking. In the meantime, it will give the cameraman some opportunity to try and get some of those awesome shots he does moving around while I'm cutting all of these pieces. So talk with you again now. Let's quickly get these cut. Alright, before we start the cutting, you're going to hear me say this forever, but it's really important. You have 2 eyes, 10 fingers. Don't forget about your ears. Please make sure you have the appropriate protection on. Right. Time to cut. great. That's all the cutting done, and I've removed the burr with the grinder. I just have to do the inside where the grinder cannot get. So I think that I think I've got enough pieces now. Just have to cut the PVC pipe still. But that I can only do once I've welded the foot piece on, so I can determine how long the pipe should be, the PVC pipe should be, so we'll have to wait for that. If there's any specific small little metal projects that you've guys seen that you might be interested in, please do let me know if you want me to make something in future. I actually do like these little metal projects. They're fun to make, they're quick and easy to make, but they design-wise, they're really challenging to figure everything out. So if there's anything you have in mind, do let me know. Alright, so that's all the pieces. Now I have to figure out where are they gonna go. I think this one must be like that at an angle, somewhere like there. Okay. That will give me some space to, these two will be for welding rods, so maybe like that. This one, see how much, that's going to take a lot of space there, so maybe like that. Okay. Then so maybe something like that. I'm liking that layout. Okay, that means I can cut this here. That will give me long enough space here. Okay, I'm going to quickly do that, and then we can start putting it all together. That is hot, right through the glove. Okay, great, it's done. I'm just quickly going to spray paint it. The painting is done and I am loving this orange. I think it came out so brilliantly. And this is the entire project. This I can have two different sizes welding rods in here. And I have a place for some pencils. I love these little white stone-like marking things for metal. I don't know what they're called, but they work really nice. So I've got place for them. I've got space for shorter pieces to go in there. Okay. Then I have another space here. Maybe you can, I can put a vernier there, or I'm still thinking I would like to have a speed square sometime in here somewhere, or whatever I want to put there. Okay, so all of that can fit in here. And then this is the fitting I made for getting the welding arc started. So you can see I painted it, but I left it bare metal, where this is, so this to make contact on the surface that I'm welding on, and this is to start the spark. So the idea is that it sits here and I can just simply take it out, put it down and use that to start the spark, and then when I'm done, put it back in. It's a little bit tight after painting it, but it will wear out a bit. So this, all the welding will sit here so it won't be in the way. Great. So, and then I can put it somewhere on the table while I'm working, and then I can have access to a next rod and a next rod and something to draw with, and I can be busy welding, and when I'm done I can just clip this there so it's out of the way, and then I can work. So I can move it anywhere. It works really well. I think I, in hindsight, think that maybe this is a bit short because the wire now has to go up. It's actually tilted forward. So, but it's not a train smash. It's one of the nice things about the way I designed it, that I can just cut a different length PVC pipe and replace it with that. So it's really, I think this came out brilliantly. It's got a nice weight to it, so it doesn't fall over or anything, and I am very pleased with this. I really like this, and I think it will work brilliantly. I can't actually wait to make my next project and do it. So as always, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any welding buddies that you'd like something like this, please share the video to them so that they can get some ideas, maybe share some of their ideas. I am really looking forward to all of your comments and suggestions. If you do like these kinds of videos, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up for this video. I will really appreciate that. And then until our next project or our next time spent together, I want to say, make your best life. Hi everybody, Johan here. Welcome to my exactly one of the things I wanted from the channel. It's spread out nicely. And I am waiting for the car to pass.